This is activity 5-5, creating subqueries. Now, what's a subquery? A subquery is a master-child query, all wrapped together as one object. So quite often it could be a select surrounded by another select, or a count or a sum surrounded by another select statement. Now, for us right now, we do have the latest orders report ahead of us here. Let's go back to design. And if I go over to my database fields, I actually pulled in two tables and information from those two tables. Let's have a look at the transact statement. So database, show the query. And let's connect to the data source. And it is just selecting from customer name and order date from orders. And they're joined together, and that's fine. Makes sense. Now there is also within here a select expert. Now let's go and have a look at that. So the report select expert group. So once the data has arrived here with that initial transact statement, it is further manipulated with a maximum entry. So let's look at the performance of this right now. Across the top, we're going to go to the report and performance information and data. Total number of records that are being returned is 2164. Okay, that's fine. The size of the saved records, 207 kilobytes. That's okay. Now, processing, how long does it take? Well, it requires two passes. Two passes. So when it's first being brought in, and then when it's displaying, because that's the select expert. Right? And notice number of summary values is 266. Now performance, notice the time. To open the document 90 milliseconds, 43 to format a page and render the page. So is there a better way? Very well could be a better way. Right? So let's go back here and get right out of this. We're going to do a new, completely new report. Let's pick blank report. And we're going to scroll up and connect to ArcStream and add a command. Now this command is fairly lengthy. We're going to select customer name. And we're also going to do now the subquery. I'm going to select max out of the order date. Now I have to change these to the right little slash. Whoops. And I still can't get it right. I do wish that there was some way to easily zoom in on this, but there isn't. Select order date, and then this is going to come from orders, where orders dot customer and I've got a tilde in there. Now the as means show it as. Now I'm going to pause while I visually check this. Now it does look correct. I'm going to say OK. And apparently it isn't. So let me verify, and it's generally these little order date, from orders, customer ID, well, that looks correct. Let's read the error message. Too few parameters, which is very odd. Let's change this up a bit. Select the max from the order ID. All right, I'm just going to pause, and I'm going to be right back. And I think it's right here. Yes, it was. Spelling mistake. So now we've built a command for this. So over here, there's the command. So we're going to bring in our customer name, and we're going to bring in the last order. Whoops. And we're going to run this, or preview this. Now, the formatting of that we know that we can do, but customer name and last order. Well, that's what we saw before. So how much improvement is there? Well, let's go see. Report, performance, save data. Okay, well, that looks the same. 266, 267, not a big deal. Processing. Now, remember the number of summary values before? And the number of passes? Well, before we required 2 passes. This time we don't. And let's go down to performance timing. Notice nothing to open the document. Nothing, where it did before. And notice the records, 29 seconds. And it was 443 for the first format, and now it's 142. So it is remarkably different when we did it with a command before it presented on the page. And that's the end.